Hello, my name is Alyssa Stencil, and for this Learning Disabilities PowerPoint, I research deafness. Definition of deafness. There are three definitions. The first is just plain deafness. Usually refers to a hearing loss so severe that there is little to no functional hearing. The second is children who are hard hearing. They have sufficient hearing to enable them to understand speech, but many do require hearing aids. The third are children who are deaf and cannot hear or understand speech. The extent of the disability is also affected by three essential factors: type of hearing loss, the age of the onset, and the degree of the residual hearing. History of deafness. History has always had a hard time accepting people with this disability. Ancient Greek thought deaf people were incapable of education, and early religious accounts viewed children who were born with it evidence of God's anger. In 1760, the French priest Charles Michel created a free public school for the deaf. It was the first of its kind. He had developed the fingerspelling and signs to help the children learn. A fun fact: Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, was also a deaf educator in the mid-1800s. His mother, who was deaf, allowed him to understand how hard it was for her to learn. So he used his funds for his invention to develop a school to teach hearing-impaired children. In World War I and II, deaf citizens aided the war effort through defense works, volunteer efforts, and military services. While most deaf people were excused from military services, the adult children of deaf parents were a great asset to the armed force. They were used for sign language as a secret language to communicate sensitive information. Defining factors. Hearing impairment, or HI, is clinically a genetically very heterogeneous, and auditory genes are discovered at a very rapid pace. Gene mutations may account for 30% of deafness, and 10 to 50% may only have common mutations. Hearing loss can be congenital, meaning from birth, or it can occur as a result of a disease or accident. Some of the diseases that affect hearing include scarlet fever, meningitis, mumps, and measles. Deafness-causing genes can be divided into different classes, including cytoskeletal components, cellular trafficking proteins, molecules belonging to the coherent superfamily, all of which are explained in the link below. Prevalence. Approximately 1 in every 1,000 child are born deaf or HI, hearing impaired, and develop HI during childhood or through illness. Children who are hard hearing will find it much more difficult than children who have normal hearing to learn vocabulary, grammar, word, and other aspects of communication. According to Blanchfield, as many as 738,000 individuals in the U.S. have severe to profound hearing loss. All of these, almost 8%, are under the age of 18. Profound early onset deafness is present in 4 to 11 per 10,000 children, and genetic accounts for at least 50% of these cases. Here are two research-based strategies. The first is to reduce noise in an environment. A child with a minor hearing loss, you'll want to make background noise levels and loud music erased from the environment. When you're trying to communicate with someone with HI, you want to eliminate any kind of noise that can compete with the conversation. Some examples of how to eliminate noise are carpets, rugs, and soft walls covering the area in which you guys communicate in. The second is the use of nonverbal cues. One way to get the attention of a child with HI is to tap or thump the table. The thumping or tapping creates a vibration, and the child responds to that. Another is to touch the shoulder or the arm of the child, just like you would in your classroom with children who do have hearing. You tap them, you get their attention, just the same idea. I found 5 instructional strategies helpful for teachers. The first is to make sure that students see your face as you talk. Children with HI, you have to face them. This allows them to read your lips and understand what you're trying to communicate to them. The second, present lecture information in visual formats. This again allows the student to see rather than having to struggle to catch every word you say. The third, repeat the comments and questions of other students, especially from those in the back row. Acknowledge who has made the comment so the students who are deaf or hard of hearing can focus on that speaker. The fourth, when appropriate, ask for a hearing volunteer to team up with a student who is deaf or hard of hearing for in-class assignments. This just helps them keep up in their assignments, and also it allows them to learn from other students. The last is be flexible. Allow a student who is deaf to work with audiovisual material independently and for long periods of time. And there's the website in which I found all this information. 5 instructional strategy websites that are helpful for teachers. The first is the Bright Hub Education. This website shows different teaching strategies from early ed, elementary, middle school, and it breaks down curriculums and lesson plans and guidelines to help hearing impaired students. The second is the SESD Info. It is also a great website giving general strategies to teachers on presentations. It also shows how to create a healthy environment for these students. Here are 2 helpful websites for parents. The first is the WebMD. This website explains how hearing loss may occur due to illness, injury, congenital HI, and otitis media, which I kind of explained in previous slides. But this also gives treatment options, and it gives you support and shows you how to deal and cope with what's happening with your child or even yourself. The NCSU EDU website is actually an article that explains how to help and find resources for hearing impaired children. It gives about 10 lists of contact information, as well as how to be a good role model. This is a short article and it has many websites that parents can look at for information on this subject. And here's my works cited. Thank you and hope you have a wonderful day.